I'm not ashamed to say that I am totally geeking out today when I learned about podcasting on Facebook and how Facebook is putting more of an emphasis on it starting in the new year. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Dennis O'Hara, the digital orator, and today we are going to talk about podcasting on Facebook. This video will be geared toward those of you that already have podcasts or are already planning podcasts, already know how to do podcasts. If you're looking to get started doing podcasts, I do have content on that that will be coming out in the new year. So if you're looking to get tips on starting a podcast, that will be coming out. But today we're going to talk about getting your produced podcast up on to Facebook. Before we get started, if you don't mind, just smash that like button down below if you enjoy this content. Comment on the content if you enjoy it, if you think it needs to go into more detail. Also comment with ideas for future videos of digital marketing for local businesses that you would like to see me pursue in future videos, and we will come up with some content on that. First, let's talk about what are Facebook podcasts. Podcasts on Facebook is an easy way to reach, develop, and retain an audience with your podcast content, all within one Facebook app. Add your podcast on Facebook to seamlessly distribute your episodes to existing fans on Facebook. Tap into features that help you connect with new people who are interested in your content. Turn them into fans by forging direct connections. Get discovered again as your fans help you attract even more listeners. Add your podcast, interact with your fans, and you'll gain more. Podcasting on Facebook can help you reach new listeners in simple ways. Distribute your podcast as is and tap into unique social experiences to attract more fans and increase listenership. Engage directly with your fans, forge connections to build your fan base. And streamline your growth. Engage existing fans, build a community, and expand your audience all within the same platform. Let's talk about getting started. Who's eligible for podcasting on Facebook? Well, you must have a Facebook page with at least one administrator. Your Facebook page and administrators must be in good standing on Facebook. To add your podcast on Facebook, you also need to acknowledge that you own the content and have the necessary rights to distribute the podcast on Facebook. Make sure all content follows Facebook's community standards and ads policies. And as always, you agree to Facebook's terms of service. Listeners can access podcasts from both iOS and Android. And only listeners in the US at this time can access podcasts that will be expanded as soon as Facebook decides the best way to do that. Now let's talk about adding your podcast to your desktop feed. Link your podcast's public RSS feed in just a few steps. When you add your podcast to your page, people can listen to, discuss, and share your episodes directly on Facebook. Only page admins can add podcasts to their page, however. Using desktop, select your page and click on podcasts. In classic pages, you would access podcasts from page settings, but for the new pages, access podcasts from manage your page. Add your podcast's public RSS feed. Confirm you own the podcast through an authentication code sent to the email associated with the RSS feed, which you can manage through your hosting platform. Confirm whether or not you want to enable clips to allow people to share snippets of your content on Facebook. And finally, publish your podcasts. For more information, if you get confused, Facebook does have an extensive help center that can answer the most common questions. And don't worry, once you publish your podcast, you can temporarily unpublish it or remove it permanently from your page. With 220 million people accessing Facebook monthly just on the mobile app, Facebook plays a key role in helping creators and media publishers connect with people and cultivate a community. Here's how Facebook can help connect people with your podcast content directly within the app. Your podcasts will appear on your page, in Facebook's central audio destination, and in Newsfeed for people to discover on mobile. Podcasts will appear on your page in the Podcasts tab. Followers of your page will also be notified when new episodes are published on Facebook. A central place in the Facebook mobile app where people in the US can discover and share audio content is the Audio Destination tab. Recommendations are curated based on popularity or personalized to a person's interests. You can access Audio Destination by going to the Watch tab and clicking Audio, or going to the Audio and Podcasts bookmark. And people on Facebook in the US can share a podcast page, episode, or clip to newsfeed to be seen by their friends, family, and network. Posts from pages will also appear in the newsfeed. Let's talk about some key features that are included with the Facebook podcasting that might not be available on all podcast platforms. First is background listening. With background listening, people can continue to listen to the conversation while scrolling through Facebook and even when the app is minimized. Also, clipping. You and your listeners can highlight favorite segments by creating snippets of episodes, 30 seconds or less, and sharing them on Facebook. Clips always link back to the full-length content, which will help drive additional discovery and distribution for your podcast. It's also an easy way for potential listeners to browse and sample content. At any time, you can turn off this feature by visiting the Podcasts tab and disabling clips. Turning off this feature will disable it for all episodes within the podcast series, and any previously created clips or clip posts will be deleted, so be careful with that. Facebook also features comments and reactions. Spark a discussion or see feedback on your content with comments and reactions. Comments allow you to directly engage with your listeners and foster connections. Comments and reactions are also forms of engagement that can improve your distribution so that you can reach even more people. Captions. Auto-generated captions let people read along with a podcast episode as it plays. Captions will only appear when the audio plays. And collections is another feature. People can quickly save a podcast episode to a collection for easy access later. So there's some great features that are available through the Facebook app that, again, you may or may not enjoy with your other streaming podcasting platforms. Now let's talk about some podcasting best practices. Try these tips to grow your podcast on Facebook and engage your listeners. First, let's talk about setting up your presence. I recommend adding your podcast to a dedicated show page. If you don't already have one, you can create one and then set the page category to podcast. Host or network pages are also great places to add your podcast. Bring your listeners along for the ride. Don't treat Facebook as an announcement board. Engage with your listeners too. Ask questions to understand what types of content to lean into. What guests do your listeners want to hear from next? What topics do they want you to cover? What did they think of your latest episode? What surprised them the most? This strategy can help turn a new listener into a loyal fan. Let's talk about the types of listeners that you may come across on Facebook. First, the potential listener. Found your content through newsfeed, an ad, or a share. Then they will become a converted listener. Clicked or engaged with your content, listen to at least one episode. Another type of listener is the consistent subscriber, a true fan, someone who seeks out your content and or regularly engages with it. And finally, the loyal recommender, someone who listens on a regular basis and recommends to friends and family on their platform. Another way to engage is to comment on posts. Responding back to your fans lets you share additional perspectives and foster a meaningful conversation. Additionally, when you engage in the comments section of your own posts, the post may be shown again in your followers' feeds, which can further increase reach and engagement. You can also engage with other accounts to reach additional audiences. Finally, build a social content strategy and maintain it. We've seen other types of social content complement full-length podcast episodes. Test them out across Facebook and Instagram. Podcast clips create snippets of episodes, again, 30 seconds or less, and share them on Facebook to drive interest and allow people to sample your content. Feed posts. Create posts around your research and preparation, or share highlights or clips of your episodes, 30 seconds to 3 minutes. In Reels and Stories, share behind-the-scenes moments or remind fans of a new episode that is dropping. Also try live video and live audio rooms. Host after-show Q&As to help listeners feel more connected to you. Consistency is key. Setting expectations will build loyalty and increase engagement for your podcast. So that is the lowdown on podcasting on Facebook. Again, I'm Dennis O'Hara, the Digital Orator. Thank you for watching this content, and I hope that you're ready to get started publishing your podcast or producing your podcast or uploading it, whatever you want to call it, to Facebook and see your engagement grow. Again, please smash the like button on whatever platform you're watching this in, thumbs up, like, smiley face, whatever you have to click. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this content was helpful to you. And also let me know if there are other topics you would like to see explored in future videos. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. And Dennis O'Hara, the Digital Orator, signing off.